What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Nothing But Skills, and in today's video we're taking a closer look at the new specialization, the technician. So if you guys want to see what this specialization is capable of, there'll be some gameplay. They talked a lot about it during the state of the game, so let's see everything that we need to know about this specialization.
So, I mean, it's all tied to the fact that we're going to the Pentagon and that thematic. So it's high-tech, kind of a support spec. We wanted to lean into the fantasy of skills and high-tech stuff. So it's called the Technician. It features stuff like a new hive and that buffs other skills. And it features a really nifty multi-missile rocket launcher.
Damn. That's very cool. We're going to show you some clips of the gameplay in just a... No, actually, can we go with the first one? I just want to show it. Like,
we just said missile launcher, so come on.
Like, we can't...
Let's show it now.
We can't hold it. So let's take a look at the first clip, because I'm super into this. Ooh. Okay. So what are we seeing here, Frederick?
So you see this new crosshair, and you get to mark enemies. You kind of see how it builds up little dots on each one. And then you got these swirling missiles that go out and kind of clear the room. Each one kind of capable of taking out a red bar. I think you're actually going to go ahead and shoot just the one at this red bar, just to show. And yeah, it's really a room clear. Up to 6 missiles. They can lock on to different enemies, or you can tag one enemy with multiple missiles. And it won't be your primary like big boy targeting system where you like take down big bosses, but it'll be the thing that you can target people that are standing far apart and clear a room.
Looks boring. Doesn't look fun at all.
I love it.
That was my follow-up question, though.
Yeah.
Because I see that. Is there a limit on to how many things can be targeted on one?
6. You can target all 6 of them on one.
But if we're 4 players in a group and we have 4 of these specializations, so you could hit someone with 24 rockets.
You could.
Interesting.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Big kaboom.
Just saying.
And obviously, this is a little bit more leaning into kind of experimental fantasy stuff with like these swirling missiles and stuff. It doesn't quite look like this or work like this.
So you can be a mage or a cleric. Like,
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, kind of if you go to old school RPG stuff, this is a little bit like shaman inspired in that it's like a support class that can go a little bit damage or a little bit healing, and we'll see that when we look at the tree later, right?
Very cool. Yeah. So the controller you may have noticed on the table.
Yeah, we're going to do it
take
live.
us through.
This is going to be big.
Through that. So you have the rocket launcher. There's the P017 missile launcher. We've shown how it works. We don't really need to talk about it as much. What can you tell us about the tech hive?
So it's called a Artificer hive. But
really hard to say.
We do call it the tech hive internally, so that's fine. Like everybody will use whatever name the community is comfortable with. But the idea is that it enhances other skills. So you place it on the ground, it'll send out these little mini drones, and they'll hit other friendly skills, even the ones belonging to your group mates. So you can kind of buff everybody's placed and in transit skills, even like Seeker Minds and whatnot. But the big thing here is also if you carry it on your back, it's active for your skills, even when it's on your back. So if you got that and maybe, let's say, a drone out, it's going to actually fly out and buff your drone. It's going to buff it, make it stronger, make it more damaging. It's going to repair it. It's going to refresh its duration. So it's going to stay out longer. So kind of really do the heavy lifting for the skill that you are not using in that slot by buffing your other skill instead.
That's really cool. Actually, we can show this as well.
Yep.
So the second clip I have actually shows the hive. Let's take a look at the second clip.
First,
Yeah.
now you can see he's tagging each enemy with multiple missiles.
So how does that work? Do you just hover over them again?
Yeah. And it takes just a split second. So you can pull your cursor over or your aim over without tagging someone, just if you want to be tactical about who you pick. So it's quite easy to use. And this is throwing out the hive. And you'll see when the drone flies by that one of the little things comes out and hits it. And gives it a buff.
See the buff, yeah.
And you'll also notice when it comes back, exhausted, your little pet, kind of damaged. It'll hit it again now, I think, and repair it.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
And you can imagine if you're playing 4 players in a group and you have a little maybe radius mod on this thing and stuff like that, that you can get really cool group support with this thing.
That's cool. All right, I think after this, we'll go and have a look through the skill tree. So if you just want to hit the button on there, we'll log you in.
Does the buff stack if you have multiple players?
No, it doesn't, but it can refresh it for if it comes from multiple sources, right? So you can refresh.
I love how you're live theory crafting, like,
That's
what
good.
can we do? What can we do?
How can I break it?
No, I'm really interested to see how players go with this one, because I'm sure there's going to be some crazy builds.
I mean, it's also kind of leaning into, we know that people would like to see more group synergy stuff. So this is really leaning into that support role.
All right, I'm being asked about the ecosystem hit sound effect. What is the sound effect you're talking about?
I don't even know what Ella means when she asks that question.
Well, okay. All right.
It's chat asking. All right.
There might have been
Sorry, chat. We don't know.
All right. Yeah, we're not sure. Maybe there was a sound effect when it hits stuff and it's echoing. I'm not sure. There's never been a sound bug in the division, so probably not that.
Leaning into that meme. It's great.
Wow. No, you didn't.
Wow. Okay. No, but so let's we'll go ahead and we'll take a look at some live gameplay. So this is a work in progress build, and you can see down the bottom.
I just want to point out how exciting it is to show a live build on State of the Game. And
Yeah, it's really cool.
So you
So
got
I like how those specs have 225.
this is the in progress stuff. We've cheated to give ourselves many points.
So disregard the numbers, but
And filled out everything.
let's go through the tree. Where do you want to start, Frederick?
I mean, let's start with the hive. So you got the hive over here, the Artificer hive, and some extra mods for it to give it more radius and better recovery rate. And that's actually one of the things. All hives in TU6 now work on charges. So like if they've used half their charges, you can actually go up to it and pick it up with the interact button and put it back on your backpack, and it'll keep whatever charges it has left. And this hive is no exception. So instead of working off a cooldown, it works off charges, similar to Chem Launcher.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
So we got that. Obviously, you saw a little bit of that. Down here, you have the kind of group protection talent of Faraday field. So whenever you place some skills down, like the turrets and stuff that you place on the ground, they form a little protective field where anybody standing close to them, it'll basically conduct shock and disruption to it instead of your teammates.
Yep.
So it kind of creates a little protected field.
Yeah, my first question for this was, it doesn't apply to movable skills. Like the drone isn't going to fly a field around and that sort of thing, right? So it's only for static skills.
It's for the static skills.
All right.
There's a question in chat here if the hive buff can buff another hive, and it can. Yeah. So it'll give it better duration, better effects and stuff.
Cool.
I mean, you can only have one buff per skill on, so it won't like stack infinitely.
Okay.
And then you have this interesting node here where you basically get to pick whether you spec into damage on your skills or healing.
Okay. But you can only pick one, right?
Yeah, so you can only pick one in this subtree. We're kind of trying out to
Have choices.
have a little bit more choices. We kind of did that in the last patch with the weapons, and now we're kind of using it in different places. I think that's kind of interesting to see where you want to go with the spec, so you don't get everything at the same time. And then various bonuses to skills and stuff like that. One of the big things that we changed in this patch for all of the specs is this.
Yeah, we talked about this last week, right?
Yeah, which we're giving pulse resistance. And I think we have another video clip coming up where we can show that what you get is also the EMP grenade.
Yeah.
And the EMP grenade, causes disrupt and does some damage to robotic enemies. And if you're doing your invasion and your weeklies, you're going to want this for your Black Tusk enemies. But I suspect it'll also be quite popular in PvP.
My first PvP related question to this: can the EMP grenade disable the skills that are in the Faraday field?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So then the Faraday field is rendered.
I mean, I think no. The Faraday field is still active, but the skills go disrupted, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
so the skills don't die; they get disrupted.
It depends. If you've not invested in health on your skills, and someone throws an EMP grenade at them, and they're really weak, they might just die, drop out of existence.
Because the EMP is still dealing damage.
It
right?
still deals damage to anything technological.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited about this spec because it's really leaning into that whole side of things, and we kind of needed to do the whole revamp of skills that we did with TU5.
Yeah.
And now we can bring this out and really lean into the fantasy of shade tech and all of these things, right? I think it's pretty goddamn cool.
Can we do the sidearm last? Because I actually want to show it. full
Yeah,
screen.
we can show that. I don't know if we have so much more to show. It's the same like field here. You get a laser pointer that actually pulses targets when you aim at them.
Yeah, that's cool.
Also kind of high-tech inspired. And then you got your signature weapon talent, which is all based off of destroying enemy robotics and skills. So even not just robots, but things like RC cars and RC blades and things like that. So whenever you kill enemy equipment, essentially,
Turrets also and this kind of thing.
turrets and stuff like that, you're gonna increase the bar until ammo drops. So it kind of really gives you a little bit of a role on what you're best at, right?
That's cool.
Hmm?
Nice. And then you
So
have
I think that's most of what this does. This is the big signature like stat you get, which is you get more skill power for being in this spec.
Nice.
Let's have a look at the pistol actually, just because pretty 3D models.
Yeah, I like it.
Actually, let's just have a look at this thing first. So here's the actual launcher. This is the back of it.
Oof.
Here's the front. It's
That's
nice.
so cool. I mean, actually, do it nice and slow because I'm sure a cosplayer out there is going to really appreciate it.
Oh, yes.
You should really hand out the 3D models for these so cosplayers can use them, 3D print and do
That'd be
stuff.
cool.
That's really cool.
Then with an integrated silencer on the front. I think it looks extremely nifty and kind of high tech.
That's
Looks
really
really
cool.
good.
Chat was also asking what the med kit does for the specialization.
Oh, right, yeah. I forgot. I think what it does, we went through a couple of iterations on it. Your armor kit also applies to all of the skills within a bunch of meters. So when you repair yourself, you also repair everybody's skills.
Cool.
That's very cool.
All right. That's our first look at a live work in progress build that people will get to experience next week. Very cool. Thanks for taking us through that, Frederick.
Top gig.
There it is. No, we don't know which. This one's really cool.
Yeah, this is cool. This is more demonstrating the rocket launcher.
I don't think this is the EMP one though. We'll get to the EMP one next. But you'll for now get to see more cool, pretty explosions.
Unit 2, what's your status? Unit
What do you know what the range is on this? Is it like max range?
Yeah, pretty much.
They weren't taking chances.
I mean, the missiles seek their targets, but not perfectly. So they can dodge in behind cover and stuff like that. And particularly in PvP, you wouldn't want
PvP,
something
you can
that's...
still, yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't want something that's absolute. It's not like a secret line. It's
So you
kind of-
can dodge roll these things? Can you line of sight them? And,
Yeah,
okay.
because they have a max turn radius. They can't turn infinitely fast. So if you kind of dodge in their direction, generally would be the best kind of counterplay for them.
So you can Dark Souls these.
A little bit,
A little
yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna try it out.
Or die.
Okay. Well, that's
Like
Dark Souls. All right, cool. So the next clip we have actually does show the EMP grenade. I think.
Nope.
No, not this
No,
one.
no. This is kind of, I think this is a good example of, like, you have the rocket with 6 rockets and you can tag multiple enemies. This is not going to be the weapon that kind of clears heavies the best, because that's kind of the gunner and
Or the sharpshooter.
the
also.
sharpshooter, etc. So that's more single target. This is more about like cleaning the room, right?
I completely lied, by the way. I don't think we have that EMP clip.
All right, gotcha. That's
Well,
fine.
but trust us, it's cool.
But you've been exposed to EMP grenades from certain enemy
Sure, yeah.
archetypes at times. And I think it's just a nice thing to have in the toolkit, because maybe you don't want to use the jammer pulse to counter enemy skills, and you want to be a bit more proactive. You can use EMP grenades for that.
I like that.
Buffing up the drone, kind of
Oh yeah.
sending it out to deal with the enemies. And it kind of makes you also maybe be a little bit more active if you, for instance, are running with a drone build, because you'll want to call it back so it can come back and fetch a new buff every once in a while, which you can do if you double tap the skill button, right?
Nice.
Because there's still a range when you have it on yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
That's cool.
You can see it survived, but lost most of its armor. So it's not going to be. It's going to be great against red bars. It's going to be pretty good against elites and heavies and stuff like that. But it won't be the premier single target weapon. But mostly, nobody else can target things that are spread out all over a room like this thing can, and make a single attack against things on a wide flank. And that's really where it shines.
Is there an actual explosion AoE?
It does a normal explosion, but kind of small. But yeah, if something's standing next to it, it's going to take damage.
So if it's
a
really
regular
packed,
explosion.
you can actually...
Yeah, and it will impact and explode onto walls or covers
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And if you're standing near that, you take damage. So it's not just like a shot. It's an actual explosion.
This specialization actually looks really useful, and I'm excited to get my hands on it, test it myself, see everything it can do in solo and group play. I think it will benefit from group play with some of the talents that it has, right? Let me know what you guys think about the specialization. Are you guys excited to try this one out? Do you think this is one that you'll be using? Let me know in the comment section. I appreciate all the support. Leave a thumbs up if you found this video useful. And as always, until the next Division 2 video, nothing but skills is out.